everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel and to Train Sim World 4, and it's always an exciting day, isn't it, when a new DLC releases, and in particular for me, a UK DLC, and one has just dropped today, and that is the engineering, well, it is called the Edinburgh Glasgow Engineering Express Pack, and what that does is brings Class 66s onto the already very good Rivet Games ScotRail Express Edinburgh to Glasgow route. So at the moment we got the 385 on there, so there are a couple of 66s coming in, new liveries. We've got the direct rail services 66, and we have also got the Ocean Network Express livery 66. It's a pink one. I think it's going to be quite popular. But this is released today. It came out on consoles this morning. PC is a little bit later. We're going to take a quick look at it on the PC, and well, we're going to see what it's about. But I'm just looking at the Dovetail Live article, and it says rescue Class 385s between Scotland's two major cities and take new Class 66 liveries beyond in free roam with the Edinburgh Glasgow Engineering Express backed by Rivet Games. So I think there are three new scenarios. Let's just have a quick look. On the PC, I haven't played any of the scenarios on this route, but so you can see the ones that came with the original pack as well. So we have got rainy recall, operator service from Edinburgh to Stirling due to severe flooding. You will have to turn back. Sounds interesting. Then we have got on a roll. This is with the DRS. Start your shift at Haymarket Depot. Shunt the 66 to some Seacow wagons. Deliver these to Cadder Depot. After uncoupling from the wagons in the siding, park the 66 in the west siding at Cadder Depot. We've also got Spring Morning. That's also in the direct rail services. That's using Eastfield Depot, and that's rescuing a faulty 385 and bringing it back to Eastfield Depot. What else have we got? That is it. So that's three new scenarios, isn't it? For the 66s. It's nice as well when we get to use the depots. I do like that, you know, on an existing route. Let's have a look what else we've got in the timetable. If I go for the DRS, you can see over here we've got the two liveries. It's a case of just choosing the services. We've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 services there for the DRS, and if I go back, we got 2 services there for the one livery or Ocean Network Express. So I think what we'll do is we'll run the DRS livery, and I think what we'll do is we'll run 5S40 Bishop Briggs to Edinburgh Waverley, operator freight services carrying 6 Seacow wagons from Bishop Briggs to Edinburgh Waverley. So we'll leave the dynamic weather on. 31st of December. Let's go for it. So I have played a little bit of this on the PS5 already, and been quite enjoying it, to be honest, because I do like this route anyway. It's always been one of my favourites since it's released, so this adds a little bit more to it. So let's get in. We'll get everything set up, ready to go, and then we will have a little talk about it, shall we? So let's put the reverser handle in. Let's just make sure everything is set. I'm doing this with the controller, which is why it is a little bit slower. Let's have the lights on, shall we? It's daytime, so day running. We don't need the tail lights on. We do need the instrument lights though. And then safety systems, the all important safety systems, which are up here, and the DSD. Alright, let's close that. Let's have the window open, shall we? So you can see here on this left hand side we do have the line cleaning version of the 66. railhead treatment train. That's what I was trying to think of. That's the official name for it, the railhead treatment train. Let's just have a quick look outside before we get going. Here's the new livery. 66031 is what we're driving today, and the sea cows as well that we've got are also in blue. That is new, isn't it? We've got a mixture. We've got some of the original ones here on the back, but yeah, it's looking quite nice. So let us put it in forwards first of all, and we will release the brakes, and we will get going. But just under 40 minutes this service. I think we've all come to love a 66, haven't we? I'll be honest with you, I would like to see another freight loco in TSW4. That would be nice. But for starters, you know, the new liveries are nice to see, rather than the ones we've just become used to. Now, these two liveries in this pack, there are only services for this route, but obviously with free roam you can use them in your other routes if you want to. I don't know if they appear as AI either. I'd need to check on that. I would hope they do, but I'm really not sure. It could be just that they're confined to this route, but it has released this morning, as I said. I think in the UK it is $9.99, so it's just a gameplay pack. I don't know, what do you guys think? We've had quite a few of these, haven't we? These gameplay packs. I think if you enjoy your freight, then you'll go for this one. But it is nice to have something else on this route, because it is a very nice route. What are we doing? We're going via Haymarket. Let's just confirm that. I'm trying to bring up the schedule now. Let me bring up the schedule. Not that one. Let's do it this way. It's easier. Haymarket, then Edinburgh. See, I'm not used to playing on the PC. I don't know how to bring up the box there in the middle, which whilst we're running we can see the schedule. I should have checked that out before we started. But not to worry. What's our top speed? 75. So let's see how we get on. The hood has disappeared. Wait a minute. Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up. There you go. That's what I wanted to bring up. So let's stick to the speed, shall we? 75 is what we're meant to be doing. So let's just throttle back a little bit. And now I can't get the whole thing back now. I want to get rid of that, but I want the hood, if that makes sense. Hold or show. Oh, it's this one. Is it this one? That's it. There we go. I was using the wrong button. That's what comes of using an Xbox controller when you're used to a PlayStation 5 DualShock controller. The buttons are kind of in the same places, but they're not, if you know what I mean. But we'll work it out. Let's go then. So 76 miles per hour we're doing currently, so we're good. We're alright. Our max speed 75, but not to worry. We'll take a look at the livery a little bit more, because that's what you're here to find out all about. I do think this is quite a nice livery. I haven't actually run with the One Network Express livery yet. But this one, I think I had this one on the PlayStation 5. I think I had a Creators Club version of this running that somebody had done. I don't know if it was fully branded or not. I can't remember. I've got quite a few Creators Club liveries going on the PlayStation 5 just to give it that variety. but it's nice to see something coming officially into the game. I love this, the way that the oil is on the plates there. Let's take a look down the train, shall we? It is nice. I do like that. I quite like how the sea cows are mixed as well, as you would expect. Yeah, it's good. There's not many services, I will say that. I would have expected a few more, but they are quite long services as well. You can see here we got another 35 miles until we get to Haymarket. So quite a decent run on a very nice route. So there's a lot to like. Just depends whether the gameplay packs are your thing or whether you just you generally just wait for the routes to come out. The new HUD, by the way, I've said this before, the new HUD is excellent. I do like this HUD better without the big, the big clutter down the bottom right hand side. I do think that that's a massive improvement. So yeah, the article from Dovetail, there's not a lot to actually say from the article at all. Embark on the task of shifting heavy ballast trains along the Edinburgh-Glasgow line, which is what we're doing now, without causing delays, in preparation for day-to-day engineering works, and face typical Scottish weather as you drag 385s on delivery and rescue runs. Well, we haven't got typical Scottish weather today on this run, have we? It's actually quite nice. So that is setting a scenario. So we are taking ballast in preparation for the daily engineering works. But saying that, what time are we on here? 2:41. So we must be transporting ballast for tomorrow's ballasting. Anything else that I can glean from the article? Nothing really, apart from details about the actual liveries, which you've already discussed. So yeah. So the route itself, of course, was developed by Rivet Games. The gameplay pack is also Rivet Games. They've done both. And I think the route, I think it came out around this time. I want to say around this time last year. I think certainly early February. It's been on sale a couple of times. If you don't have this route, I definitely recommend this route. I think it's got a lot going for it. It's a good long run. You know I love a good run. The 385 is quite nice to drive, but I will say the 385's got that very narrow. It's got that very narrow driver's window, so you don't get to see a lot of the route from the cab. Now that's where this comes in, because you can see this window here is quite wide. You get to see a little bit more than you normally would. But I mean, if you're like me, you use the free roam and set up your own scenarios anyway, and you can basically put on pretty much whatever train you like, can't you? Whatever your favourite train is, if you want to give it a run. Do it on free roam, why not? So we've still got 32 miles to go. It's a quite nice cut-in. There's a 385 going the other way. So let's just have a quick look if I can get to the front. Down here we do have these couplings. We've got a hook, we've got a buckeye. Now on this one, where is the other? There is another coupler which I can't see there. Maybe it isn't on this one. There is a coupler for connecting to the 385, and maybe because we're running the this freight service we can't see that, but I thought that was on there the whole time. Maybe not. Maybe it needs to be fitted. Let's just hop over this side to get a little bit more of a look at the livery. So yeah, drop me a comment and let me know what you think. It was released actually in relative silence, wasn't it? I think from the roadmap we knew it was coming up. But speaking as an ambassador, I was surprised. I didn't know it was releasing today until a few days before. So I was quite surprised about that. It's a shame really, because it'd be nice to give it some more promotion. I mean, that's what the ambassadors also do. By playing it like this, we'll give you, there'll be some promotion. You can have a look at it before you choose whether you want to buy it or not. But the gameplay packs don't get a lot of fanfare, do they? Not like the routes, which is probably understandable, because these are just small editions, aren't they? But they're very nice editions. This is nice. The Centro 323 that we got for the Birmingham Cross City line, that was quite a nice add-on for that route. You'll probably, if you look back in the channel, you probably remember we did play that just recently as well over Christmas. That was quite a nice addition. Let's just acknowledge that. It's funny how the concept of speed when you zoom is very slow, and then you come back out again. And we're at 78 miles per hour, so we're going slightly faster than we're meant to. So we'll just knock it down a little bit. So we've got Haymarket and then Edinburgh. So Haymarket, of course, is right outside of Edinburgh. So the second part of this, after the go via, won't take us very long. This is the main part of the journey. But in the game, we seem to have the 66s pretty much everywhere, don't we? We've got quite a few 66s, and at the beginning we mentioned the railhead treatment train as well, which if you bought that was a standalone loco DLC. I don't think it was tied to any particular route, and so therefore you could run it on various different routes, including this one. And I think we did cover that actually at the time. So we've all come used to 66. I think we all quite like it, and you do see it a lot up and down the UK network, of course. It's one that we're all familiar with if you like trains in real life. But I'm just, as I said at the beginning, I hope there is another freight train at some point around the corner, because there are others, of course. Love to see a couple of the others. But you can see the route. The route's lovely, with the hills there in the back. The weather's great. This is the 31st of December that we've got it set to. I expected to see it absolutely lash down, and I mean we've still got 27 miles to go. It could do that yet. The dynamic weather is on, so it could do that. I don't know about that horn though. Somebody who's used to a 66 horn can tell me if that is sounding like the real thing. I don't know if I've heard one in real life. I know we do have a couple of Class 66 drivers that watch the channel occasionally, so I'm sure you guys will let me know if you're watching this. 26 miles to Haymarket. I have tried a couple of the service actually where you pick up the failed 385s, and quite enjoyed those. Similar to the type of services we're doing on South Eastern High Speed. Oh, there's a 385. With the Rail Operations Group 37. Whereas there, we're not just taking failed units, are we? We're taking them out to be re-liveried, rebranded on the South Eastern High Speed. Whereas this, we're just taking rescued ones to Cadder Depot or Eastfield Depot. But it does definitely add a new element to the route, which is quite welcomed. And $9.99, is that? What do you think of that price? Is that the sweet spot, or would you say would you pay more, or are you only prepared to pay less? Because I often, I don't really know. Some of you do mention that. Some of you mention what is value for money for you, because that's that's what it's all about, isn't it? With anything, not just with Train Sim World. If you think something's value for money and you want it, you'll buy it. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Make sure you let me know and give me that feedback. Let's go back into the cab view. Have we got anybody riding along with us? No, not today. We're completely on our own today, which is fine. 73 miles per hour, let's just acknowledge that. The thing about this route as well is that some of the assets used for the buildings, you can kind of tell it's a Scottish route. It has that feel about it. I thought they did quite well with that. It does feel like you're in Scotland, especially at some of the stations and the surrounding buildings at the stations. Just the landscape though. The landscape's great. Makes you want to go to Scotland. Actually, I may go back there this summer. It's been a couple of years since we've been to Fort William and the Loch Ness area, so we might go back there this summer. That's what I'm currently thinking. So I might need to plan that. Loch Ness is something else. If you get to go there, I know there's the stories of the monster, etc, etc. But if you do get to go, it's actually, take the monster away, it's actually a really, really nice place. And of course the loch is massive. You've got to see it to just kind of understand just how big it is. Really nice place. It's very touristy though, because of the monster, I assume. There's lots of people there. The villages get quite busy, but it's a nice place, very nice place. But we're not here to talk about the Loch Ness monster, as the 66 direct rail services pulling the sea cows with ballast heads towards Haymarket and a go via with a destination of Edinburgh. I think if I was a train driver, I think I'd quite enjoy being a freight driver, over a passenger driver. Although, as we even see in Train Sim World, you do seem to get held up a lot. You're not the priority, so you do spend a lot of time waiting around. But I think actually, be quite satisfying. I don't know, the guys that I mentioned who do work as freight drivers can tell me otherwise if that's not the case. But apart from the waiting around, I think it's actually, going A to B is actually, it's quite satisfying, I imagine, quite fulfilling. I guess it depends what weather it is and whether your cab's nice and warm. But I imagine it's quite a good job, that. Apart from the shifts could be a problem, couldn't they? A lot of freight moves at night, doesn't it? In this service we're quite lucky, being a 2:30 start. Right, we've got 20 miles until Haymarket, which we should cover pretty quickly. I'm going slightly over speed for this unit, but as long as the boss doesn't see us, we'll be alright. So I don't believe anything has been done to the 66 itself, rather than just the liveries. I think that's the only thing. I'm certainly not aware of anything. Apart from the coupler that we mentioned earlier, which I can't seem to find on this unit. We've got the hook and the buckeye, but there is another coupler which name escapes me. I did see that when I was doing one of the scenarios on the PS5, but there is another coupler which allows us to join up with the 385. But that is the only thing that I think has changed. I don't think there's anything changed from a feature perspective. And you guys tell me that are used to this route in real life. Is it the DRS and the one livery because these operate on this line? Do they still operate, or I can't remember what time period we're in actually on this route. I don't know if this is present day or not. But are these liveries still in use now on this route? I'd be interested to know that. I know some of you guys are quite keen on the real life versions of some of these routes and know them quite well and what runs up and down on them. So we do have a yellow coming up in just under 2 miles, which has now just turned green, so we're right. I don't know if there's something in front of us, maybe. Try a few of the cameras, shall we? There's the flyby camera, which I quite like. Oh, that was handy. There's a 385 going the other way. So we are still slightly speeding. We do have the little red marker there to show us our maximum speed, as you can see, as well as the reminder up there at the top. What I will say as well is that on the surfaces, there you go, locomotive speed is too high. Let's just it says no power. Does that change? Or they're just warnings? There's warnings. You can use the system here to cut in the brakes, and as part of the scenarios, you do all that setting up. But for the services, the brakes are already seem to be cut in, so you don't need to do that part of the setup. So you don't need to remember that all the time. But even for the scenarios, it does take you through step by step on how to use that. I always remember on the East Coast where there were a couple of scenarios that did that, and at first lots of players got confused with how to operate that. Is it the EMD 2000? I think it's called. And one of those videos that I did on the East Coast where in the 66 was actually one of the most popular videos on the channel, and I think it was because of that, because it showed correctly how to set that up before leaving. But it was part of the scenario. I was just following the instructions to do that. But you know, I think the 66 is quite popular. Unless you guys tell me anything different. So looking good. 14 miles to go. So don't forget, to run this, you will already need to own the route, the Edinburgh-Glasgow route. So just be wary of that if you do go ahead and buy this, if you fancy it. I'd hate for you to go and buy this DLC without the route first, so I just wanted to let you know that. But if you do pick it up, enjoy, and do let me know what you think of it as well, because I do like hearing your feedback. It also helps me as well from a research perspective. It also helps me choose. We've got so much now in TSW4. When I do a video on TSW4 or a live stream, it also helps me to know, you know, what's popular with you guys as well, because that's important. I've got my if I did a TSW stream right at the moment, it would be Blackpool branches the whole time. You know it would. It'll be a bit like the British Ace doing the Brighton Main Line. And he won't mind me saying that. He likes the Brighton Main Line, and that's because he knows it. It's the same with me on Blackpool branches. I would tend to put the Blackpool branches on quite a lot, but that's not what everyone wants to see. So I'm quite happy to, you know, I do have all the routes. I'm quite happy to play any of it, really. Even the Arosa line, if you really want me to. So I did say actually I would play Oakville. I think it was on the last live stream I said I would play Oakville, so I will come back with some Oakville, I think, because I haven't been on there in the longest time. I'm definitely more a fan of the UK stuff, naturally, probably. But especially Blackpool branches, I really can't wait until Just Trains bring out whatever they're going to bring out next. I think that'll be interesting. Right, we've got 11 miles till Haymarket. And so far, it's been a relatively straightforward run, hasn't it? We've not been held up for anything. Not had to slow down. We've been able to maintain speed throughout. We have speeded slightly on occasion, although because of the speed limit of the line, we haven't sped in TSW terms, but we've gone faster than the unit speed. So we've kind of cheated, but we haven't been penalised for it, which you can do. I mean, if you want to run to 90 now, you can get up to 90 in this. It will do it. But from a points perspective, it won't penalise you. You'll probably still get the platinum medal for this one. As you can see, I've just gone over speed now. We're going slightly downhill, so... So this is the first time I've actually been on this route on the PC. On the PS5, my route level is quite high. It's something like level 20 something on this route. I have played it quite a bit since it's come out. I think already I've completed the scenarios for the 6060s on the PS5 and a couple of the services, because I was kind of playing it on there and just testing and having a mess around with it. Normally when I do a first look, it's a first look for me as well as the channel. This is kind of the first look for the channel. It's my first look on the PC, but I have seen it before, so I kind of cheated a little bit this time. But I wanted to see what it was all about, what was included, because there was a little bit of a, there was a little bit of lack of information about what it contained. So a lot of the finding out, I just had to do that myself. But I should say, a big thanks to Dovetail. So as part of the ambassador program, I've been given access to this so that I can show it to you. So I'm quite grateful for that. And as you know, we always try and do a fair and proper review of what is out there. And you know, this one actually, my own view of this one is that this is a nice addition. If you don't like the route to begin with, and I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you didn't like the route to begin with, then this pack isn't going to really add anything to that experience, I don't think, is it? Because there are no timetabled services that you can use on any of the routes that you do like. So it's all, apart from free roam, it's all based on this route. Now, I quite like this route, as I've mentioned a few times today. So for me, you know, this is a nice little pack to add on. The price, again, the price of it is down to your own personal choice. I can't really say whether $9.99 is value or not. It depends. There's certainly, if you compare it to other things you could buy, and how many hours enjoyment you would get from the $9.99, then probably it's good value. But if you enjoy the 66, or you enjoy UK freight or these particular liveries, you're a fan of these particular liveries and these companies, then it's probably a good choice for you. Negatives, I would like to have seen more build up and more coverage of it. I think that's nothing to do with the route itself. Yeah, I would have liked to have, had some excitement drummed up before it released, rather than it being a bit of a side release. I will say that. What negatives? I suppose the only negative you could sort of say is that the 66 is the 66 again. It is new liveries. I think it's been touted as that. It's not been touted as a new 66 or anything like that. So it's more of the same. Albeit you get new liveries that you can't get anywhere else. You might find somewhere on Creators Club, but they're not the official ones. But apart from that, I don't know if there are any negatives. I think there's not many services for the Ocean Network Express livery. When we looked at the beginning, I think we had 8 for the direct rail services, and I think we only had 3 or 4. There probably could have been some more services, but then again, is it running to a real life timetable? I'm not sure. I don't suppose on a busy commuter route like this, you want to really, in real life, you want to have a lot of freight running, because how do you fit it into the timetable? So there is that about it to sort of counter argue that. But on the whole, I think it's a nice little DLC, to be fair. And if you fancy it, but you don't fancy paying the full price, I'm sure at some point, if you can wait, it'll be on a sale, as everything is. So don't feel like you have to jump in. But I think it's all right. I mean, it's been a nice run today on this one. A nice run at speed, I will add. Taking ballast across Scotland. I think this is is this the trams? This is where the trams. Is this the tram line? I think it is. There are no trams on there, I don't think, as AI or static or anything like that. Yeah, that is the tram route. We've got Haymarket just under 3 miles. So we shall soon see Murrayfield coming up on the left. I did notice that it is using the old scoring as well. The action points are being awarded in bands of 30. action points. Now that could be that although the DLC is new, the route itself was pre TSW4, so that is probably why the route itself is probably not set up to award the new points totals that we've seen on the newer routes. There's Murrayfield over on the left. Now on the PS5 I have got the mastery unlocked, and let me put some brake in because we've got some low speeds coming up. The mastery tile is actually here. There's a big marquee tent here, all decked out with Scottish colours. But not on the PC. Right, we do have a 25 coming up after this yellow, because we're moving off over to the left as we come into Edinburgh. In fact, are we going all the way into Edinburgh? I'm not really sure. Put a little bit more brake in. Best to be cautious with a heavy freight train. So this is Haymarket coming up. So this end of the line could be quite busy, as I said, because Edinburgh is right after Haymarket, less than a mile, I think, from memory. We shall soon find out. So we're not stopping, but we do have a red, unless that magically changes once we get through this go via, which, as we know, can happen sometimes. So the go via is in the platform, so we'll just take it nice and easily. Just in case we do need to stop. Okay, so we've got a yellow, so we're good. Let's just hop outside. So you've got the new and the old here. So it's got like a station's got a new. So if that's quite old, isn't it? But then you've got all this glass and all this modern sort of entrance hall now on the back of it, which is quite nice, isn't it? Right, we'll speed up slightly because Edinburgh is just the other side of this tunnel. Take the throttle out. We'll just ease it downhill into Edinburgh station. So we are going into platform 11A, so we are going into a platform. I wondered if we would stop, you know, just outside or just beyond. I don't actually know if we can get beyond. Edinburgh is where the line stops, but sometimes we have a bit of additional track, don't we, beyond the station for the freight. Rose Ignored comes to mind, where we can do that. But we're stopping in the platform this time, so that's fine. Here's another tunnel, so let's bring it down to 20. Up there's Edinburgh Castle, right on top of the hill there. Good place for it. And we should be there in 800 yards. Really nice run that, I've enjoyed that. Hope you've enjoyed it too. Thanks everybody for coming in. And, you know, do let me know what you think of this DLC. I know some of your regulars will be snapping it up. Some other regulars, I'm thinking of Dave Melody. He says he's not going to buy something, then he does. So let me know what you think about it. I'm genuinely interested to know. You know, is there anything else for this route that Rivet could have done instead of this? Anybody that knows this route, also drop me a note about that as well. Let me know. Leave me a comment. I love the way that light flares. Look at that. The yellow light flaring. And shrinking back in as we approach. That's a really nice effect. So leave me a like, do leave me a comment. And if you want to see some more of this, we'll play some more. I'm quite happy to do that. And maybe next time we will take out the pink Ocean Network Express livery and we'll run something in that. But as for now, this is Edinburgh. Welcome to Edinburgh. 385's in the platform. Our ballast is delivered. Although I don't know in real life, is this going on anywhere else? It's not going to stop in the station unless we're ballasting in the station, which is possible. But that will be it for today's video. Thanks very much once again for coming in. Take care everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.